Good day, El Paso. Your local junk caller here, Charlie, AKA Dumpster Daddy. We've been up early. We gave an estimate and we performed a small cleanup for a repeat client. We are over by UTEP today. This is called the historic Sunset Heights area. This is the place where my wife has her childhood home that you heard me mention before. One of the things that we have been talking about when it comes to YouTube and getting onto this journey is the content. The content. We want to provide you all with some valuable content while showing you what we do, how we're building our brand, how we're building our business, the steps that we're taking out here in El Paso. So when I was talking with my wife, I told her, I said, the one thing that I remember when coming into the Walt Disney World Company was they plugged us into something called traditions. They had to start you off with a firm foundation of what it is that the company values, what the company stands for, all of that type of stuff. So that you knew as a cast member or an employee coming in with the company, you knew what you were getting yourself into. You knew what the expectations are, or however you want to put it. So I told her that's where we're gonna have to start for our brand. So come along for the journey as I put together this content to put out to you all. Hopefully it's of value, you find value in it. But we're gonna give you some of the lessons that we learned, some of the strategies that we learned when we worked at the Walt Disney World Company and how we're implementing those same principles and strategies into our own brand. And we're gonna bring you along for the journey to let you know and see how it's working out for us. Hopefully you can learn some things and implement it in your own journey. So as for now, we're gonna head back on over to the house. I'm gonna get some more breakfast because I had my oatmeal and I didn't finish it. So I need to do that because your boy Tumbly is grumbly. So here we go. All right, folks, as you can see behind me, you've heard me mention it before. You heard me talk about it many a times. Behind me is my wife's childhood home where her mother and her father raised her and her little sister. This is the historic, and I say this again, her father always wants me to know, this is the historic Sunset Heights area. We are on Porfirio Diaz Street. If I stand out into the middle of the street here, you see those mountains across over there? Those mountains, that is Mexico. Not New Mexico, but Mexico, okay? The whole nother country. So this is the borderland. And their house, right down the street. So me and my wife, we moved out here to put this house and bring some life back to this house. It has been a journey. It has been a little bit more than we thought, but we're gonna keep plugging along and doing our thing, and hopefully get the house back restored. All right, so we are back over here on the west side of El Paso. We are at the Don Haskins Rec Center. They got a big, beautiful park here. It's a bunch of people out and about having a good time at the park playing. Kids are playing. I did see some people over there going into the rec center to play some ball. Some young people are off. But anyway, so we're back to our topic of the foundation of Dumpster Daddy and things that we learned when we were working at the corporate world. And I told my wife one thing that I remember distinctly was that Disney put us in what they call traditions. And in that traditions class, I can't remember how long it was, if it was 3 days, a week, or however long. But I do know that when working for the company, it was a coveted position to be chosen, to try out first off, to answer the call, and then to be chosen to be a traditions facilitator. I had a few friends who did it, and they would have great stories about how they laid the foundation for the next group of cast members or employees coming into the Walt Disney World Company. So when thinking of our own company, we had to we're learning what is our foundation? Like, what do we stand on? What is it that we're going to say that we provide for our employees, team members, whatever we decide to call them when that time comes? What type of foundation will we be laying before them when they decide, when we are able to grow our brand, grow our company to where it can now employ people. So that's where we're at right now. I was talking with my wife. One of the things that I'm having a struggle with is getting her on camera. It is hard for her right now. And one of the things that we talked about in one of our mini talks is that she's just not comfortable being on camera. And so I had to, I just had a question for her, because when we worked for the Walt Disney World Company, when we worked there, she applied to and became a finalist for what would be one of the most coveted cast members positions, one of the highest level, or however you want to call it. She was a finalist to be an ambassador for the Walt Disney World Company. And I said, well, what's the difference between you going out and applying for that and becoming a finalist, one of the last few to be chosen, before they chose the actual ambassadors, or who they chose for the ambassadors or whatever. I said, what gave you such confidence then to get in front of the panelists and on camera and talk and say what you had to say then, as opposed to now? And she said, well, she knew the company's line. She knew the company line. And I was like, okay, well, what's your company line? That's what I asked her. So that's what we are now figuring out. And while I was having a talk with my mom, my talk with my wife, Bianca, resonated with me. And I told my mom, I said, Bianca feels comfortable because we've been in the corporate environment of the Walt Disney World Corporation for so long. She feels comfortable talking through those principles. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and take what we've been doing for the last 10 years, take that structure and apply it to our business. And my mom told me, she was like, well, isn't that what you go to? Isn't that why you go to work for a corporation? To learn their systems, to learn their procedures. And when she said it to me like that, I was like, duh. So we're going to be taking you through the journey of how we're going to be implementing. First off, we're starting with the foundation. And in the course of that foundation, we're going to have a couple of steps that we're going to take some time, because right now, like I told you before in a previous vlog, I'm just freeballing right now. So once I start getting this stuff on paper, once I start scripting it out so that I can give you detailed, and so I go back through the memory banks, remember some of the lessons that we learned, some of the classes that we went through, and me and my wife can brainstorm, and I'll even bring in some of my other peers who worked, or ask them if they want to be a part of it. I got some people in mind to see if they want to be a part of the vlog and share some of their information. But yeah, come along, building our business, building our brand from the ground up. We want you all to be a part of the journey. This thing is exciting to me. We've been making some changes at home. I did have a piece of equipment that showed up right before I was coming out here to do this, to record this little vlog right here. So we're gonna head back home. We don't have anything else on the books. I am ready to roll should someone call, but we're gonna go home and play with the toys. We're gonna call this a vlog for right now. We're gonna call it Dumpster Daddy out.